Hi guys, hi. Okay, 2.1 through 2.6 review. Let's go through some practice problems so that the Big Ideas Math assignment is rocking and rolling. Okay, the first one's in the journal on page 31. Looking at this, practicing writing the sentence as an inequality. See if you can do it. 12 is greater than or equal to 5 times a number n. How'd that go? 1/3 of times a number h is less than 15. Rockin'. Number 3, 7 is less than or equal to the difference, that means minus. This has to go first, then the second thing. A number q, the difference, minus 6. Ta-da! Number 4, the sum plus, did I remember that, of a number u, so the sum of something and something, u and 14, is more than 6. Okie dokie. Moving on. Down to number 7. X is greater than or equal to 3. Well, that's solved and taken care of. Now I have to graph it. So I find 3 equal to, so it can be 3, and x is all the numbers greater than also. So what numbers are greater than 3? Great or. Notice and remember, I don't know if you remember the trick, the symbol looks like my arrow when x is on the left. Might help you out. Okay, that was page 31. Then I'm looking at page 32. Oh my gosh. Page 32, I'm looking at graphing this. X is greater than -1. Find -1. It's not equal to it. Leave that open. It can't be -1, but all the numbers bigger than -1. There we go. Arrow means it goes forever. All those numbers. X is less than 1. Find 1, not equal to it, but less than is to the left when x is on the left. You can use those tricks. Okay, that's 2.1. Here we go, everybody. We're looking at 2.2, which is page 34. So I'm going down to communicating my answer down here, looking at number 4A and 4C. So as I look at those, I am saying, let's see, I got to solve this. Get the variable by itself. +3, undoing, -3. Left with x, bring down the inequality. 4 minus 3 is 1. There, I solved it. If I don't show all the work, I don't know how I'm maybe getting that answer. So that's why I'm showing you every single step, okay, guys? X minus 2, inverse operation is adding, undoing, 6 is greater than x. Now, remember, you can always write the x on the left if you like that. It's pointing to x, it's pointing to x. I have to just still make it true. You can do that anytime. If you have to graph it, wow, is that helpful. Okay, that's 2.2 from page 34 in our journal. Then I'm looking at some more practice on 2.2 on page 36 of my journal. So I'm looking at this, solving, and then graphing. -3, undo, add 3 over, x is less than -1. Well, I have all this going on, so I'm going to put my -1 right there. -2 and so on, 0, 1, and so on. I have my open circle, x is less than -1. Bam. I have my variable on the right. I'm freaked out, but I will be okay. Oh my gosh, I'm really freaked out now because 0 is a number, but for some reason we just hate on it. I want to switch this around, make sure it opens up to 0. This is maybe easier to graph. So 0, -1, 1, 2, and so on. I have my open circle, h is less than 0. So there's my answer. Okay, that's 2.2. Now I'm looking at 2.3 on page 41. 2.3, I'm looking at solving 6 times x. How do I undo times? I divide. X is less than -5. Throw your -5 on there. Less is to the left. Bigger is to the right. Have my open circle because it's not equal to. And all the answers less than -5 will work. Here's another one with the variable on the right. 16 times f. How do I undo multiply? I divide. So I have my f. I have my less than or equal to. I have my 3. but 3 is less than or equal to f. I usually don't read it like that. I usually read it with the variable on the left, or read from the variable. F is greater than or equal to 3. F is greater than or equal to 3. You can write it either way. 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6. Filled in circle, everybody's. And all of the answers that are bigger than 3, so it goes to the right. Beautiful, beautiful writing. Number 4, red alert. Do you remember that? Remember red alert? I multiply or divide by negative, so I flip-a-rooney the inequality. 16 divided by 4 is 4, negative divided by negative is positive, so here's my final answer. 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shmeal, shemazel. Okay, and I circle it. Equal to, fill in the circle. M is less than to the left. Ta-da! That was page 41 on your journal, if you want to practice. Let's flip over to page 42, my favorite number, because 3 is in the middle of 4 and 2, and 42 is divisible by 3, and 42 is just my favorite number. So on page 42, I'm looking at this one. Fraction. I am so afraid of fractions. But I can multiply by the reciprocal, and it's okay. Everything is fine. So, trying to show that work. So I'm left with y over here, because that will all be 1y. Negative and negative makes positive. Oh, red alert! I flip that inequality because I multiplied by a negative, and then negative 4 divided by 1 times 1, negative 4. Whoa, that looks crazy. I'm going to maybe write it this way with it still opening up to negative 4. Y is less than or equal to negative 4. Negative 4, negative 5 gets bigger to the right. So I have my filled in circle because it's equal to. Y is less than or equal to negative 4. There we go. Ta-da! Now moving on to 2.4. Oh, I had 2 glasses of coffee. That's why I'm talking so fast. But you can always slow this down. And then I talk like this. In some of my Zoom meetings, that happens, and it just drives me crazy. Okay, back to this. The variable has to be on one side. Do you want it to be on the left or the right? Totally doesn't matter. So I'm clean up, moving it over to the same side. I'm just left with 8 over here. I didn't divide or multiply by a negative, so that inequality stays. The 5, not affected. Negative 2n plus 4n is plus 2n. Now I have a little two-stepper, don't I? So this is getting in the way. I minus 5. Gonna go over here, guys. 2n is greater than 3. Divide by 2. Oh, no. Yeah, that's okay, you guys. Fractions are okay. You can leave it like that. You can leave it like this. You could leave it like this. Those all mean the same thing. Okay? So if you have to graph it, don't be scared. We don't have to graph these, but I'm sure you could. Okay, number 8, last one on this page. I have 3p plus 4 greater than or equal to negative 4p plus 20. Oh, I got to get my p's together. So I add 4p. We just planted peas in our garden. The deer don't eat them. I'm sure we'll have some. Then I minus 4. I'm going to move over here, everybody. 7p greater than or equal to 21. Divide by 7. P is greater than or equal to 3. 3. I love the number 3. Okay, so now I have 2.4 done. I just have 2.5 and 2.6. So 2.5 is on page 51, and I'm going to just do number 4. A number C is more than negative 4, or C is at most, goes up to, less than or equal to, negative 6.5. So we're looking at and or compound inequalities. Do you remember this, guys? Do you remember this? So I'm looking at this. It's an or statement. The arrows should go apart. C is greater than negative 4. I've got to have negative 4 and negative 6.5. So negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2. Okay, that gives me enough. C is greater than negative 4. Not filled in. Greater. C is less than or equal to 6. Oh, 6.5. That's okay. Negative 6.5. It's less than. There's my or statement. Ta-da! So this is 2.5. Let's look at page 52. On page 52, we're going to do 6 and 8. So if I'm looking at number 6, solve the inequality. This is a compound inequality. It's an and situation. Oh, these were always tricky. So I'm looking at where x is, my variable, and I have to get it alone. Minus 3, how do I undo minus? I add 3 in all locations, right? 7 is less than x is less than or equal to 10. That's an and situation. X is locked between 7 and 10. 7 is less than X. X is greater than 7. Okay, so goes that way. And then X is less than or equal to 10. Goes this way. No arrows because there's nothing going on forever. Those are all my answers locked in between 7 and 10 and can also be 10. Ta-da! Number 8, an or situation. Just do this one. Z plus 4 minus 4 minus 4. Z is less than negative 2. Or divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Z, red alert, greater than 7. Okay, so I've got my or situation here. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, random numbers here. So Z is less than negative 2. Over there. I could have counted not by ones, right? But I did. Z is greater than 7. Okay, there's my or situation. Now I am looking at 2.6. 2.6, absolute value inequalities. That's setting up a compound inequality by, remember, less than and great or. Oh, I remember this. So if it's less than or equal to, you set it as an and situation. If it's greater than or equal to, you set it up as an or situation. So for example, X is less than 3, the absolute value. So I look at the absolute value of X, less than 3, and I say that's two situations. Flip it, change it to negative. Less than starts out as an and situation. Hey guys, X is already by itself. So that's already solved. Just by splitting it apart, it's solved. So then negative 3, could I count by 3s? I sure can. Just so I have even increments, it's fine. X is greater than negative 3. X is less than 3. Shazam. How about great or? Absolute value of X is greater than 4. So X is greater than 4 or, great or, X is less than, flip it, negative. So I'm looking at two situations. Could I count by 4s? Sure I can. X is greater than 4 or X is less than negative 4. Now we're going to try number 5 on the back. Number 5. Okay. And all your big ideas, assignment problems will be like the ones we have just gone through. So this is on page 56 in our journal. I look at this, get the absolute value alone. Just like when we solved in chapter 1, we have to get the absolute value alone before we split it. So I have to add 4 first. And now I'm left with 3 plus r in the absolute value is less than 0 plus 4 is 4. Now I can create my situation. Less than is and. 3 plus r is less than 4. 3 plus r is greater than negative 4. Get rid of everything with your variable. Oh, I'm running out of room. And r is greater than negative 7. So my and situation, you can leave it just like this, everybody's. Or you can make it into a nice, pretty compact and situation. R is less than 1. R is less than 1 is right there. R is greater than negative 7. R is greater than negative 7, or negative 7 is less than R, right? So I'm going to start way over here now. Negative 7, negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, how do I graph this? It's connected from negative 7 up to 1. And there it is, all connected and everything. Isn't that great? So I hope you realize that we are on chapter 2 right now. So that is chapter 1. I thought I'd bring Cynthia back because it just is so well behaved. So I have chapter 1, chapter 2. Then we have chapter 3, chapter 4. Because we get to cut off at May 29th, we are not going to do a big review for chapter 5 because that's systems of equations and you cover that in ATM and you also cover that in algebra 2, so you will be golden. We also review a lot in geometry. So if you are passing and you are doing all these assignments, you are doing great, everybody. What is not doing great is, okay, so this is after 2-3 weeks of growth. I don't know why I took the beard shears to my hair, but I did. But look what Otis did.
Otis just attacked this thing. It was on the ground and he attacked it, and it's irrecoverable. So I'm very sad about this. So Charlene is gone in the garbage. All right, everybody. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to see you again, as we will someday. Okay, goodbye.